Well, I did say that we're taking a look at another matter now, and yes, it is about U.S.-Nigeria relations. The story that broke over the weekend saying that Dropbox services were no longer going to be available to Nigerians. Turns out that there is a little more to it. We're joined now by the Chairman House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Wale Oke, who coincidentally is all the way in the United States and joins us virtually. Honorable, good morning and welcome to Sunrise Daily. I don't know what time it is over there. I imagine it will be really late.
It's early morning. It's 3:45 a.m.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for joining us. But I'm sure you've heard about this particular issue. And as a Chairman House Committee on Foreign Affairs, it must be something that concerns you. Have you started making any inquiries as to what exactly could have caused this situation again?
I don't think there is any serious issue here. One, it is the prerogative of the United States to cancel Dropbox procedure in renewing visas for Nigerians. There is this principle of reciprocity in the diplomatic arena, where states, countries treat each other equally. And as it regards visa issuance or renewal, that's not what we offer Americans in the United States. That's not what our consulates, when Americans or Nigerians born in America, businessmen applying for visas, that is not the we don't offer them Dropbox. So that they offered us Dropbox. I think it's entirely their own prerogative. For example, until President Bola Tinubu assumed office, American government was issuing Nigerians visas for 2 years. Who were issuing them 1 year? Later, they moved to issuing visa for 5 years. Who were issuing for 1 year until President Bola Tinubu came on board and directed the Minister of Interior to reciprocate. So I have not seen anything that American has. It's their prerogative in any way.
Yeah, but if something used to be easier for citizens of the country and all of a sudden what used to be seen as much easier is now made a little more difficult, don't you think that we have a responsibility to inquire as to what the challenges could be?
Unfortunately, it is their prerogative, it is their decision. I contacted the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs. If he has any information regarding this, and he told me clearly that he is not in receipt of any communication correspondence from the United States of America regarding this issue.
Well, we live in it.
Yeah, exactly. But like I've told you, we don't offer Dropbox to Americans in the US, right? So if they offer us earlier and they decide to withdraw it, I don't see, we just have to live with it, that for now. But while we would, ask, relate, more so that I'm in the US, I'm in New York for a UN function, I will reach out to our CG and our CDA, permanent rep office, to find out what is actually happening. And I can also share further information on this.
Well, it's interesting that you are in the UN right now and you're also in New York in the United States. And I'm just a little curious as to what your thinking is with regards to U.S. bilateral relations with the second coming of President Donald Trump. For many people who are watching world politics now, a number of people will say that the times are uncertain, especially with his policy of America first. From your own, from your analysis on your own, permutations, do you think that Nigeria stands a lot to gain from the outward posture of the United States towards the rest of the world?
Let me submit that irrespective of whatever President Donald Trump is saying, the grand norm of United States governance is their constitution. So anything outside the constitution, it won't work. And these institutions in the United States are so deep in, they've been around over years that they have their independence. So you won't be surprised even where you have President Trump party members in the majority in the Congress, you'll be surprised that they will all stand by the provisions of the Constitution. Having said that, I am of the opinion, and I speak for myself, that Nigeria is such a very important country in the Committee of Nations that no country want to ignore. Take it from me. So we are that asset that the entire world, is waiting to tap. So I am positive that we will reap from the posture, from going further from the activities of President Donald Trump.
In what areas? I mean, what are our mutual interests that you think we will continue to? I mean, the United States can benefit, and also will be of great benefit to Nigeria as well.
Well, we trade. I know in the areas of trade, they are partners, and we also look up to gain so much from them when we work together. We're aspiring to be a member of a Security Council. So, America, has a lot of influence, a lot of friends. So, I can tell you that we have a lot of things to gain. You've just spoken, engage my colleague, which chairs Committee on Health, about donors and all that. I am sure that in the next 2-3 months, all the restrictions, executive order placed by President Trump will be relaxed and will come back. I am sure it's just taking its time to evaluate what has happened, under President Biden, So I'm very positive that America wouldn't want to lose our friends.
Okay, well, I'm sure the rest of the world would like to share your positivity. But let us take a look at, America as a model, because part of the reasons why America also grew very popular, it's not just in terms of its what is done with institutions like the United Nations. I mean, it came up with I think at the end of the Second World War was when, institutions like the UN were formed after the Great Wars, and, the 5 major powers coming together, et cetera, et cetera. Now, many years down the line, the US has since wielded soft power, through its, marketing of democracy as the hallmark system of government. And this is something that Nigeria, which used to have a democracy through the parliamentary system, decided that they were going to model themselves after the United States. Is there anything you're concerned about with what is currently happening internally in the US, and how, there are concerns around democracy and how it's looking? Do you think that perhaps, that influence of the United States in, being the bastion of democracy is going to start to wane somewhat? Is it a fear you share?
Like you observed, we practice parliamentary system, then we now turn to the American system, the system, democracy, constitutional democracy. I think the Americans are doing things to their own advantage. That's why the President Donald Trump motto, as I would say, American first, is working there. So in Nigeria too, for example, I think we should look inward. We need to go back to the drawing table and see how we can rekit our own democratic practices. Unfortunately, the constitution we're operating was put in place by the military. We are yet to make that determined effort to look at our constitution again, look at its workability, because we need to look at our nature, our culture, our ways of life, vis-a-vis current developments, because when the constitution we're practicing now was put in place was in 1999. So you can imagine what has happened in 1999 to date. Let me give you an example. When last did we conduct a population census? Look at the population, look at the representation. Is that the parameter acceptable around the globe? You know, these are all the issues that we need to weigh, and then look at what American system is promoting, and it's working for them. Is it working for us in our own case? I think it is working, and it can work if we domesticate democracy properly in our context.
Let me quickly ask you, I mean, this particular issue which you have said, I'm sorry, I have to circle back now to the issue of the drop box system, because there are a number of Nigerians who are now caught up in this, visa application system. Sometime last year, the United States did announce that it was changing the platform or the platform upon which Nigerians could apply to the United States. And I think they're changing the entire website, and they gave a deadline through which, people could apply if you're going to use the old website. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until a particular time before you could apply again. Now, from what we understand that, some people have qualified for interview waiver and have paid. They've got appointment confirmation dates, but were unable to drop off their documents on the appointment date owing to the migration to a new website by the American Embassy, and up till now have not been able to get an appointment to submit their documents owing to no fault of theirs. And, they're concerned that their visa fees are only valid for 1 year. I mean, for those Nigerians who have complaints such as this and have been caught up in a web of changes, owing to no fault of theirs, is there anything that the Nigerian government can do?
Well, like I told you, you're aware that I'm in the US. I will take this matter up with, after finishing my meeting in New York here, I will be in Washington as well. We have a charge the affairs there, Ambassador Teboje. I will take this matter up with him and see how we can, navigate and resolve all the issues.
So we have reason to be optimistic?
Absolutely.
How quickly do you think Nigerians can get a response to this? And how do we get the feedback back to them?
Well, we will work on this. I will engage our charge the affairs in Washington. I will also be engaging the CDA permanent rep office and, of course, the CG in New York here on this matter. And I can assure you the response from the American government.
Well, Honorable Oluwole Oke, we wish you a very successful mission in the United States, and we hope to catch up with you when you return to the country, and look forward to that feedback which we're expecting from you. Thank you so much for joining us and speaking to us on Sunrise Elite this morning.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Thank you.